All right, you're listening to 91.5 WUML Lowell Blues Deluxe, and it's my honor and pleasure. I haven't talked to him in a long time. The great Monster Mike Welch is with me today. Hello, Mike.
Hello, John. It's great to see you again.
Great.
Like you said, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's like I can't believe it. The time has passed as much as it has. I mean, I remember when you were graduating from high school, and
Huh.
then seeing you come into the House of Blues in Cambridge and playing, and Dan Aykroyd would come in, and that's how you got your name, by the way. People don't realize that. Dan gave you the name Monster Mike Welch.
Yeah, at the opening of the first House of Blues in Cambridge, he was emceeing with the Blues Brothers band, and he came up with that nickname. And at the time, I mean, I've kind of had a love hate relationship with that nickname
Yeah,
over the years,
I
but
was going to ask you about that
but
because there was a
well,
time when you weren't calling yourself Monster Mike, and then
I,
you
I
came
went through
back.
my artist formerly known as Prince phase, where I was like, "That's not my name. Don't call me that." But it was oh, good Lord, 25 years ago when I started
Right.
dating Jeanette, who I married 22 years ago. Uh, and she said that every time she would say, "Oh, yeah, my boyfriend's a blues guitar player. His name's Mike Welch." And without fail, they'd go, "Monster Mike Welch?" And so she was the one who said, "Listen, idiot. People know you as Monster Mike Welch." She was nicer about it, but she didn't have to be. People know you as Monster Mike Welch, which is better than them not knowing you at all. But
She's right though. I
yeah,
wouldn't have
well,
thought of it. Right.
and Monster Mike Welch and I are on pretty good terms these days. I'm okay with it.
How's your son
Uh,
Joaquin doing?
oh, daughter JQ.
JQ.
She's doing great. She is um, in New York City, studying theater directing at Pace University. She's
Wow.
music directing cabaret shows and playing piano, and just she's my favorite person, and I'm so ridiculously proud.
Wow. Wow.
She's
That's
just funny and smart and talented and just killing it, and I'm so proud.
so growing up here in Massachusetts
Hmm.
and the actual local blues community is incredible. Great
It
musicians in
is.
this area. Amazing.
Yeah, no, it was a place I was very lucky to musically a place I was very lucky to grow up in, um, because you had all these world class players, but also there was never anything cutthroat about this scene. Everyone was very much on everyone else's side for the most part, and so it was both musically high stakes because I had to keep up with players who were as good as any in the world, but also it was kind of benign and safe for a kid to be in because everyone was really supportive of each other. And yeah, no, what a blessing to have come up in the Boston and New England blues scenes.
Do any musicians that took you and helped you out when you were coming up that you can talk about?
Um, yeah, definitely. Uh, Probably the first was Matt Woodburn, um, who is living
He's in New York
up
City,
New York. No, you think Long Island
Long
last time I
Island.
talked to him.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But Matt, besides just being the sweetest guy, was just a frighteningly good guitar player and singer. I mean, he sounded like '70s Freddie King meets Howlin' Wolf meets Stevie Ray or whatever. Just total power and finesse um, and then later on, the whole circle of musicians that had been Sugar Ray and the Bluetones and Ron Earl and the Broadcasters, and people like Mudcat Ward and Anthony Gerasi were very much mentors in that way. Um, David Maxwell, the late great piano player who
Play with Freddie King.
played with Freddie King. It was because of Maxwell that I got to play with James Cotton and Hubert Sumlin and Junior Wells and Maxwell was one of the rare true geniuses I've known. And I look back on him very fondly, and I miss him.
You met Matt Woodburn, you mentioned, and I know Matt very well because Matt played live on my show with his band Cat in the Hat back in '95.
Yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I used to, every time they played the Yard Rock in Quincy, I used to go, and they'd always let me sit in for a couple tunes, but basically I was there to stare at Matt. Yeah, no, he was my hero. I just followed him around everywhere I could. And yeah, no, it's funny. At the time, Jason Ritchie, the harmonica player, was hanging out with Cheryl Arena, who at the time was married to Matt. And Jason said to me, I don't know if you know this, but the one time we met before was I went to visit Cheryl and you were taking lessons from Matt. And I looked at him and I said, I wasn't taking lessons from Matt in that I wasn't paying Matt. I was I was absorbing everything I could, but you know, I learned as much as any lesson could teach me. But yeah, no, yeah, and you know, there are just so many people on this scene who, you know, didn't have to be as nice or welcoming to me as they were, and they all were.
So you went solo. You started out going solo a little bit, and then you ended up in Sugar Ray's band. How did that come about?
I you know, I toured and recorded under my own name all through high school and a couple years after that, and then I was ready for a break. I was ready to not be doing the same thing I'd been doing in high school, and so I took a break from playing and I went to Berklee School of Music for 2 semesters. The first semester, I thought, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. I'm filling in all these gaps in my knowledge. I'm becoming a much better musician because of it. And then the second semester, I got 2 phone calls. One was from Dave Maxwell to play some gigs with James Cotton, and the other one was from Mudcat Ward to join Sugar Ray and the Bluetones. And
how can you say no? How can you say no to either one?
Which I realized that to give Cotton and the Bluetones and that kind of deep blues the attention it deserved, I would have to give school less attention. And I could probably make it through school giving it less attention, but I was just like, this is not worth it. I need to be fully committed to whatever it is I'm doing. And you know, Sugar Ray and the Bluetones were my favorite band that weren't the Beatles. So you know, it wasn't like I was going to say no to that. And it was interesting because it was, you know, when I joined the Bluetones, I was probably 21, 22, something like that. But I'd been playing in clubs for 10 years at that point. It was almost like getting a second chance at an apprenticeship. And I'd known those guys for so long. You know, I mean, I've been playing with Mudcat and Neil and Anthony in different situations since 1993 or something. But still, you know, as much as they welcomed me in as an equal, still it was a chance for me to step back and really immerse myself in that music with some of the best in the world.
You did it for a while too. You played with them for quite a while.
It was 16 years on and off, but there were a couple years in the middle there where I wasn't in the band. So it was more like 5 years and then a few years off and then 7 or 8 years. Still a lot of time.
Well, I played a lot of those the records that you were with Sugar Ray quite a bit when they came out.
I'm really proud of those, and having grown up listening to you know, to the Bluetones and all those guys with Ronnie and Sugar with Roomful and everyone else. You know, I'm still very proud that I got to be such a part of that band and contribute so much. And I certainly wouldn't be the person or player I am today without those guys.
Well, you left your mark on that band, and then you left your mark again on the next thing that you did with Michael Ledbetter, which was sad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that
For
record was great, by the way.
for people who don't know, there's a singer named Mike Ledbetter from Chicago. He sang and played rhythm guitar with the Nick Moss band, and he and I very much clicked. For people who don't know who he was kind of the greatest blues singer that this century has produced so far. And he and I had this intense connection and formed this band called the Welch Ledbetter Connection. We made one record. And then tragically, he died from complications from epilepsy, and he was only 33. But the 2 years I spent working with Mike are such a high point for me. And, it took me a long time to not be angry at the universe for taking him. But, then I started realizing that, what a blessing to have had him and been in his presence for as long as we did. Most people don't get a chance to be around someone like that. And I did.
And it's great. It was great. That connection, your band there, you guys were so good together. The sound.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, it was. As a guitar player, it was like playing with a singer who was finishing my thoughts. They say that blues guitar as a style evolved to mimic the human voice, which is why you get people playing with bent strings and vibrato, and you get people playing slide guitar because it's all designed to get it sound closer to the human voice. And when I heard Mike, I realized, oh, that's the singer I've been trying to play like. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, no, I'm a much better musician for having had to keep up with him every night. He really was great.
And the other thing I wanted to mention on the record, you had Laura Chavez on one of the tracks on that record too. Play.
She's on a couple of them. She's great. Originally when we did that record, I wasn't sure whether I was going to leave the Bluetones, and I was like, well, if I can't leave the Bluetones, then, Laura was Mike's favorite guitar player and definitely one of my favorite guitar players. So I was like, well, Mike and Laura can go out and play. And then Laura started playing with Nikki Hill, and Mike and I really committed to being in a band together. So it didn't work out that way, but I'm really glad. It's she's such a fantastic, fearless player. I was honored to have her on that record.
I have history with her. You don't know about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
22 years ago, she came in and played live on my show with her band at the time, which was the Lara Price Band.
Oh right, that's right. I was going to say, was it with Candy or with Lara?
No,
yeah,
with Lara, and no one knew who she was. She came out of the blue. Her and I were we're trading bootleg blues records back and forth over Napster at the time. And
awesome.
I didn't know who she was from a hole in the wall. She came. Yeah. She asked me if she could come with her band and play on the show, and I go, "Yeah, why not?" She came and she killed it. I mean,
she's unbelievable. Like I said, her playing is totally fearless. She is exactly who she is, and there's no compromise. There's no. I mean, she's such a force.
And I play that recording a lot, just to
that's so cool.
Give her kudos for, and she was like 19 or 20 years old when she came in and did that. And I looked at her. I looked at her when she came in after she was leaving, and I said, "I can't imagine what you're going to be like in 5 years from now."
Yeah, and she's only gotten better.
Yep. And then Candy, that happened right after that.
Yeah,
a couple years after she hooked on with Candy, and then the sky was the limit for her.
Yeah, definitely. And Candy was great for for Laura too, because from the beginning, Candy spotlighted Laura, and
Yeah, Laura
you
didn't
know,
want to be in the spotlight, but Candy brought her
well,
up front.
that's the thing. As much as like I keep saying, her playing is fearless. It's not an ego thing. It's not a look at me, I'm in the spotlight thing. It's just a musical power thing. But it's also, because it's not an ego thing, it can get lost in the shuffle if
Mhm.
um, if you don't have someone pointing at you saying, "Listen to this,"
And Candy would do that. Just
Yeah, very much.
yep. So tell me about your recorded work, your solo stuff that you started out. You started out on Tone Cool, right?
Yeah, yeah. I made 3 records for them back in the '90s.
That was
Um,
Rosie's label at the time, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, and
And Susan Tedeschi was on that label too with you at the same time.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, no, I mean, it was a cool little collection of artists. It was Paul Rochelle and Annie Raines. It was Tony Lynn Washington, Susan, the Love Dogs, Johnny Hoy. It was a really good collection of
Local.
people on that label.
Yep.
But and then I left to join the Bluetones. I ended up making a couple records for a label in France in the early 2000s, and then just I have a new CD coming out in August, which I will have copies of at the Bull Run, and I'll be selling those. It'll be a CD release party gig. That record's called "Keep Living Till I Die," and I'm really happy with it. I think it's maybe the most personal record I've ever made, but it's also I went out in California. Kid Anderson produced it, and he's a genius. So it sounds better than I could have heard it in my head. Um, and yeah, no, I'm looking forward to getting out there and playing those songs for people.
And that's on Gulf Coast, right?
No, actually,
No?
this one's self-released. Business stuff changes. The last one was on Gulf Coast. And I love Mike and those guys, Mike Zito and those guys to death. But this time around, just scheduling and business being what it is, we self-released this one. But we're doing it with full radio push and everything. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with this one.
And it's self-produced. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. No, it's a brave new world we live in. You know what I mean?
Yep. Things have changed a lot over the
Oh
years
yeah, yeah,
when it comes to making
yeah.
music and how you
Oh
get
yeah,
it
no.
to people.
When I was on Tone Cool, it was a subsidiary of Rounder, and there was a whole infrastructure for selling physical products, which isn't there anymore.
Right.
Um, you know, and they're. I mean, like everything else, the internet has been good and bad. It's good to be able to spread information, but it's also hard to control how that information is spread and who gets to see it, and um, so sometimes in the internet age, it feels like you're just throwing a recording into the vacuum and hoping that someone picks up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the old days, I mean, I remember the experience of going to a record store on release day and saying, my record's out, okay, it's real.
Yep.
You don't have that anymore.
So tell me about the new record. Who's on it with you?
Well, it's mostly the guys that I've been playing with around here. It's Brad Helene on bass, Brooks Milgate on all manner of keyboards, who's just brilliant. And then my drummer from France, Fabrice Bessoit, who I've been playing with in different situations since like 2003. I brought him over. And the last time I made a record with Kid producing, we did the whole thing with, there were horns and percussion, and Rick Estrin played harmonica on a song, and Jerry Jamont played bass on some of it. And this time, Kid listened to the demos of the songs I was doing, he and I were both like, this feels more like a band record. This feels more like, guitar, keys, bass, drums, vocals, some of the songs aren't quite as straight ahead, but the arrangements very much are.
Yep.
And yeah, no, it's a collection of songs I'm really happy with, and the band all played their asses off, and Kid's a genius who, things coming out of his studio sound better than they have any right to. So, and I think it's the best playing and singing I've ever done on a record.
And I noticed you do a Bob Dylan cover on one of the.
Oh yeah. Actually, it's Dear Landlord from John Wesley Harding. We do it as an instrumental. And most people don't think of Dylan as a great writer and singer of melodies because everyone focuses on his lyrics. And because, frankly, he makes some strange singing choices and always has, over the years. But he can really write and sing a melody, and that's just such a beautiful melody. And we came up with this arrangement of it that I think really works for it. It's one of my favorite tunes to play live.
Yeah, Dylan. I love Dylan.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of blues guys that have done Dylan even better than Dylan can do.
Well, I always bristle at that. I almost always prefer Dylan's versions to whoever else is doing the song. But Dylan comes from the blues so much, that a lot of his songs you don't really have to do much rewriting to get it to fit in a blues context. I remember when Prince died, and a friend of mine was like, "Why is the only Prince song any blues band is playing in tribute Purple Rain?" And I said, because that's the only one that's like a bluesy ballad with a lot of guitar on it. So if if a blues band wants to pay tribute to Prince, it's a lot easier to do that than 1999 or but with Dylan, there's so many songs that make sense in a blues context because that's where he's coming from.
Yep. Well, Ronnie has a great one with Dave Keller singing.
Oh yeah, which one did he did one of the ones off the gospel records, right?
Yeah, What Can I Do For You? It's Keller.
Oh right. No, I remember that. I remember thinking that was a cool choice of song.
Yeah, it's a great version. I mean, I've listened to Dylan live singing it, and that one just kills me because Ronnie's going out with his solo out of the end of the song.
Yeah, I love Ronnie so much. What you talk about musicians from this area who had an impact on me. I can't speak enough about Ronnie. Ronnie, for me as a kid, getting into all these old blues records, like I couldn't go out and see Magic Sam, I couldn't go out and see Guitar Slim or whoever, but I could go see Ronnie, and Ronnie put all of those things together in this sort of like hyper compressed, intense way that just, the first time I saw him live, I was probably about 11 or 12. And it was like, yes, that's what I want to do with all the music I'm hearing. That's what I want to do. And he's always been really gracious to me, but what a brilliant person and player Ronnie Earl is.
Oh yeah, he still is.
Yeah, always.
So the new record comes out August 8th.
August 8th, and we will have it at the Bull Run on the 1st. And we'll be playing a lot of those songs. We'll be playing some of my older songs, but probably covers of different things, whatever I feel like playing. But we'll definitely be doing a lot from the new record.
And that's at the Bull Run. You're going to be at the Bull Run
Yep.
August 1st. And then you're going to be at the Spire Center, one of my favorite
Oh, the
places.
Spire. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Now, I'm turned around as far as which month is which. The 15th is the right date for that?
Yep. August
Okay,
15th.
good. Okay, good. Because I had 19th in my head. I'm like, it's not the 19th, it's the 15th. Yeah, no, the Spire, I played there a couple times with Sugar Ray and the Bluetones, but I've never done my own show there. So that'll be fun. It's a
cool
very
place.
It's a very cool place. It's an old church, and it's yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
I saw Chris Kane there a few months ago.
Oh, I bet that was great.
It was unbelievable. I had never been to the Spire Center. I was blown away when I walked in there and I saw all of it. I went, wow. And then the sound in there is great too.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to doing my own thing in there.
Yeah, it's a fun place to see a show. So
yeah, definitely.
How do people find out about you, Mike? They want to get information?
The easiest way is monstermikewelch.com. That's got everything I'm doing. On Facebook, it's Monster Mike Welch Music. On Instagram, it's Monster Mike Welch. But probably the simplest one stop is to go to my website, monstermikewelch.com. And that will have pre-order links for the record very soon. And I think it already has pre-save links for streaming the record. A couple of the singles are already available for streaming.
Okay.
So yeah, no, monstermikewelch.com, and then come see me at the Bull Run and the Spire, the 1st and the 15th.
Let's talk real quick about Sunday. Phil Pemberton.
Oh yeah, no, I thank you for the reminder. So one of the genuinely great people on this scene is a singer named Phil Pemberton, who was the lead singer of Roomful of Blues for a long time. And he had some very serious health problems. And so a bunch of people are putting on a benefit show. I'm going to be playing some. Ronnie Earl's going to be there. Duke Robillard's going to be there. Brad Foucher. I know there's a lot of other. Diane Blue.
And former members of Roomful will be there.
And former members of Roomful. And yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. It's
this Sunday at the Bull Run.
This Sunday at the Bull Run, and yeah, no, definitely come out to that. Phil can use all the love and support he can get, and he deserves it. He's given so much that it's time to give some back.
Well, he's another guy that came and played on my show way back, 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
As Brothers Soul. That was his band back.
Oh right. I remember that.
Back in 95, he came and played. I've got the recordings I'm going to give him.
Nice. That's excellent.
Anyway, Michael, I just want to say thank you for taking some time out of your day.
Oh, thank you so much, John. This is great.
You see that T-shirt behind me?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one. Tell me what size.
Nice.
I'll bring it to you Sunday. How's that?
Okay, great. Large.
You got it. How's that?
Thanks, John. I appreciate it. That's excellent.
Keep in touch, and if you ever in the area, you want to come into the studio sometime, I'd love to have you.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's keep in touch about that, because I might really like to do that.
Anytime you want, just to promote. You want to come in, and you don't even have to play. You can come in and we can chat, or you can come in and play acoustic. Oh, by the way, that's another thing I didn't ask you about. All the stuff during COVID you were doing.
Oh yeah.
That were when you were playing songs and explaining who they were and how they all that stuff. I thought that was fascinating, by the way.
Yeah, I love doing that kind of thing. And definitely during lockdown, my wife was doing a lot of live streaming work, and my daughter was doing live streaming theater stuff, and I was doing it was almost like our apartment became a studio / mad scientist laboratory. But yeah, no, it was nice to, when you're forced to take a break, to look at some of this music with a different perspective,
Well, it was cool to see you actually get on there
Mm.
and play a little bit, and then talk about going into the history of the song and going and
Yeah.
talking about all of that. You don't see that very often, and it was great.
Yeah,
I
maybe I should do more of that, even though we're not locked down anymore. It's been a
Well,
while.
I'd love to have you come in and do it at the radio show.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So
Let's talk Sunday.
we'll talk Sunday. I have your phone number. You have mine. Just connect with
Excellent.
me, and we'll do it. Because I wanted to get that. I wanted to see if you would do that. You would think about doing that. Coming
Yeah,
in.
no, I'd love to do that.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Okay, great. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All right, Mike, I will bring you a T-shirt on Sunday, and thank you
Excellent.
again for everything that you're doing for the blues
Thank
community.
you, and back at you. Very much appreciated.
Thank you. Have a great
Take
day.
care, man.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye-bye.